Hi dear students, welcome back to the class. I hope all are you fine? Yes, okay. So the last video we are discussing about echoes and sonar. Yeah. So today we are going to discussing another topic. See, did you hear the different variety of sound producing different bodies? Yes. Your sound and your mother's sounds same? No. And a crow and the cuckoo, the same sound? No. And flute and drum, it's producing the same sound? No. So, in our life, we hear different kinds of sound. Okay? Just think about your friend and your sound. It's same? No. It's a different. This different sound. So, we hear a wide variety of a sound producing in a different vibrating bodies. Okay? Different object producing different sound because either they have different loudness or pitch. Okay? So, what is this loudness? So, the sound that is depends upon what? The loudness and pitch. Okay? So, first one is loudness or intensity of sound. What? Loudness or intensity of sound. Okay? So, what is this loudness? Which distinguishes a favorable sound from a loud sound of the same frequency. This is what loudness. Okay? The loudness of the sound that depends upon the amplitude of the vibrating body. The loudness of the sound that is depends upon the amplitude of the vibrating body. Is it clear? That is, more amplitude, more loudness, more sound. So less amplitude, very less sound, that is less loudness. Okay? So the loudness is the characteristics of distinguishes favorable sound from a loud sound of the same frequency. Okay? So this loudness or intensity of sound that depends upon the amplitude of the vibrating body. So high amplitude means what? Large sound, otherwise more loudness. Okay? And less amplitude means what? Very less loudness or very less sound. Clear? And what are the properties of loudness? Yes, the property of loudness, the loudness that depends on the area of the vibrating body. Area of the vibrating body. Okay, just take two drums. One is big one and small one. Okay, and the small area, when you are hit on the drum, it will produce, a big drum, it will produce what? High sound, that means loudness, because of the amplitude is small. Okay, and the small drum, when you hit on the small drum, it will produce very less sound because the amplitude of the vibrating body, that is very producing very less sound, very less amplitude, very less sound. So this amplitude of the sound wave is directly related to the energy it carries. We can say that what more energy is carried sound wave. Loudness that depend upon the area of the vibrating body. And the second property, the loudness that depends upon the length of the source of sound. This loudness decreases with the increase in distance from the source of sound. Okay. So the loudness depends upon the area of the surface means, yes, the large area producing what? More vibrations. Air vibrations has more vibrations. Okay. So it producing large sound. And the small area producing very less sound. An example, yes, in case of pool and the bucket of water. Okay, when you throw the stone to the pool or into the pool, it will producing more sound. Yes, it producing more vibrations. You can show that vibrations, the rings comes into the cool. In same case, just throw that same stone into the bucket of water, it producing more sound? No, very less sound, because of what the area of the vibrating body, that is very small in case of bucket of water, and in case of pool, the area of the body, that is more. Okay, and the second one what? Yes, it's decreases with the increase of distance of a source of sound. Yeah. Sometimes you heard that anywhere in the marriage you can hear the sound clearly. They are using what the speakers because of the more distance. But we can hear that what the sound very slowly, very less sound we can able to hear. But in case of you are just standing in front of that speaker, you can hear the sound very slowly. No, it's a too much sound. It's the loudness. You can hear the more sound. Okay. Sometimes when you are sitting in the class, those who are sitting in the last bench, you told about, ma'am, I can't able to hear your voice. Why? Because of the distance from the source of sound. Those who are sitting in the front, they can hear. So, these are the examples of what the source distance from the source of sound. Okay. And the next is pitch. This you heard this pitch. High pitch, low pitch. What is this pitch? You know that the boys and women, their voice are same? No. You know the woman's sound, that is voice. Woman's voice is more shrill than man's voice. Flute sound is more shrill than drum sound. So a shrill sound is called what? High pitch. And the soft sound, soft or less shrill, that is called what? Low pitch. So what is this pitch? Shrill is the effect produced in the ear, that is due to the sound of particular frequency. What is pitch? The effect produced in the ear due to which some particular frequencies, that is called as what? Pitch. That is called as what? Pitch. Okay. So what is this high pitch and low pitch? High pitch means the pitch that depends upon the frequency of vibrations in body. The pitch that depends upon the frequency of vibrating body. In case of loudness, that depends upon the what? Amplitude of vibrating body. Okay, amplitude of vibrating body in case of loudness. In case of pitch, what? Yes, that depends upon the frequency of vibrating body. Okay, yes. And the next one, the more frequency, that is what? High pitch. Okay, less frequency, that is what? Low pitch. So what is this high frequency? High pitch or shrill, it producing the vibrating body, it's a high frequency. Okay, and low pitch means what? It's producing the frequency very less frequency. It's producing the sound, it's a very less frequency, that is what? Low pitch. Okay. So in your textbook there is given 4 activities. You have to read that. Okay. So once again, you know that in our surroundings we can hear different varieties of sound. Okay, that depends on loudness or pitch. Okay, so what is loudness? Loudness is the characteristics of sound which distinguishes the feeble sound from loud sound of the same frequency, and this depends on the amplitude of the vibrating body. What are the properties? Yes, the loudness that depends upon the area of the vibrating body. Okay, large area, loudness, or is more loudness, and a small area, very less loudness. Okay, and the second one, yes, that it decreases with the increase in the distance of from the source of what sound. Okay, very far, the source of sound very far, we can hear very less sound, and the source of sound is very near, so we can hear more sound. Okay, so these are the two property, and next is pitch, and you know that the pitch, that is what the effect that produced here due to the sound of some particular frequencies. Okay, this is depends upon the frequencies. The pitch is depends upon the frequency of the vibrating body. High frequency, that is high pitch or shrill. Okay, and the low frequency, that is what bass or flat. Yeah. I hope all of you understood this topic.
Timbre. Another word for timbre is tone or quality of sound. Timbre is the distinguishing characteristics that differentiate one sound from another despite the fact that they might be playing the same frequency with the same amplitude. When we are describing a sound timbre, we use words like sharp, loud, reedy, brassy, or bright to describe them. Let's correlate timber to flavor. Think of apples. They are a type of fruit that has a typical shape, color, and flavor. But inside the category of apples, there is a huge amount of variations. Some apples are very sweet, while others are more sour. Some are red while others are green. They are all still apples, but each one with a distinct characteristics. Red delicious is different from each other. Even when describing one type, there are might be variations from apples to apple. Same thing goes for sound source. One category of timbre we use quite often is string. Inside of the string family, we have violin, viola, cellos, and double basses. They have similar timbres and tones in same ways, but each one is distinct when comparing two different violins. One might have a very bright sound, while the other is more muted and dark. Even when playing one violin, we have produce a different timbres by bowing a different ways. So, what is timbre or quality of sound? Yeah, that is due to which two notes of same pitch and loudness produced by two different vibrating bodies can be distinguished is called what? Quality of sound or timbre. Okay. Even in the human beings, vocal cords are of the same length and same thickness. Yet the speech of two persons does not resemble. It is because the sound produced is modified depending upon the shape of mouth cavity, shape of teeth, the way the tongue is moved, the shape of lips, etc. And the next topic is monotone. When someone speaks in a monotone, his voice is flat and boring and everything sounds the same. A continuous sound, especially monotone voice that does not rise and fall in pitch, is a monotone. So, what is the definition? A sound of single frequency is called a monotone. So, it's describe how monotone is a sound which is repeated on one note without change of pitch, while a pure note is a sound of one peculiar frequency. This is what monotone. And next we are going to discussing about the unit of loudness in decibel. The loudness of sound is measured in decibel, dB. It signifies the sound pressure level. So what is decibel? A decibel is unit of comparing the loudness of two different sound. It is not a unit of absolute measurement. The usual basis of comparison is a barely audible sound, the sound of a very quiet room, or 0.0002 Pascal, at which 0 decibel is set. And bells and decibels. The unit used to compare the loudness of sound was originally the bell. In the commemoration of the word of Alexander Graham Bell, which was the logarithm of the intensity ratios 10 raised to 1. This unit was considered too large to be useful. So a unit 1/10 the size of a bulb, the decibel, was adopted. In your textbook, there is given the source of sound and loudness level and effects of sound on human ear. Please read that. Okay, thank you.